Morning coffee. Gotta love it, right? I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and someone I haven't talked to on the phone for a while. We were talking about going through a paradigm shift. I've removed a lot of toxic elements to all aspects of social media, and I've been watching a lot of I'm not going to say positive, but progressive videos, and by progressive I mean things to improve yourself, things to improve your life, things to improve your knowledge. I've been sharing a lot of those videos on my community page. One of them was this Bjorn Andreas Bohansen. My wife turned me on to this guy. There's a few others I'll share on my community page. But he was talking about a story where he was at a certain point in his life and he knew he needed to start improving things. And I had hit, it reminded me of a story myself. There was a point in my life where I was in a horrible relationship. And I was starting to alienate my friends. And in some ways, I alienated my family. And at that time, I had a little Ford Escort. Little, I want to say it was a little 2-door hatchback. In the horrible relationship I was in, she went to go live with her dad, and I refused to do it. I refused to move in with her. But it made me homeless. So for a while I was homeless because I didn't have my act together, didn't have any money. I was working a job as a pot and pan washer at Piccadilly Cafeteria. You guys remember Piccadilly Cafeteria? I was basically showering at friends' houses. Finding different areas to sleep in my car. And one day, or one night, I was asleep and I get this on my car door is a police officer. He was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sleeping. And he's like, well, and where I was at this Waffle House where their trucks parked, right? And he was like, well, you don't have anybody waiting in these trucks, do you? I mean, he thought I was like some kind of pimp waiting for whatever lot lizard might have been one of the trucks, because it was reported that was going on. I said, no, officer. And he's looking at me, and I could tell he's just like, And so he gets my license, he's looking at it, and he hands it back to me. He goes, all right, stay here. And then they get a call on the radio. And by this time, there's a second cop car looking at another car it was probably the pimp, And they get this call. They got to go. It's like, you're free to go. And they took off. So I decided to move and found a secluded place off in this construction zone, you know, where they were building a new subdivision. You know, I decided that was, you know, I didn't want to be arrested for vagrancy, and I decided that, you know, I needed to do something. That's rock bottom, right? And called my mom up the next day. My parents let me move back in. I was in my early 20s. Now, I wish I could tell you that things in my life improved. In some ways they did. But then, because I was a weak man, I made the decision to go back with this woman, and I was thrust into a volatile relationship again, and didn't learn my lesson. And after, the only thing that came out of that situation was I really opened my eyes to a lot of things that were going on. But it was too little too late. But I was able to move back in with my sister, shared rent, and that's when I started to improve my life. And eventually, within a year, I would meet the woman that is now my wife, who has vastly improved my life by far. So I was watching this YouTube video, him telling this story, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I wish that, you know, we all wish that we knew things in the past that we know now, whether it be knowledge or experience or about people, you know. And if you were to go back in time with the same knowledge that you have now, would you do a lot better? And what a lot of people don't realize is that if you sit there and look at it as lost time, it defeats the purpose. If you look at it and like, okay, that was then, start a new chapter now, and be thankful for that experience. Looking back, I'm thankful for that experience that I had put myself in. I almost said forced in, but I wasn't. It wasn't forced. It was something that I put myself in because of my mentality, because of my priorities, because I just didn't have my act together. And looking back and looking at myself today, I would never put myself in that position again. You have to be grateful for the experiences, good or bad, to get you through to the next day. So, in this video, Bjorn talks about improving yourself and what can I do today to improve myself? Throw something away that's clutter, or educate yourself. Watch a couple of videos that educate you, inform you. Now, I'm not talking about videos or Facebook posts or anything that are designed to rile you up. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's designed to rile you up. It's designed to be a distraction. It's designed to stir up the beehive so you can get to the honey. And another friend of mine and I were talking about the YouTube universe and how he's kind of over it. And I was looking at all the old trucking YouTubers, you know, like Tex Crowley and Eskimo Sean, Trucker Steve. And I know what their viewpoints are in the current YouTube thing, right? It's real easy for a guy like me with the cell phone camera to sit there and spew my words, and boom, it's a trucking related video. But what I've been telling some YouTubers is just do you. Just, you know, if I want to do a video about truck, I'll do a video about truck. If I want to do a video about my guitar, I'll do a video about my guitar. If I want to do a video about some nature thing or a car show or a food tip or to share someone else's content, you know, my channel is about me and my growth and my experiences. And the education that I'm getting from the positive aspects of YouTube are improving my life. They're improving my mindset. And yeah, there's a level of narcissism, me talking to you because, hey, pay attention to me, look at me. But aren't we all narcissists in a certain way to some degree? Because we all have thoughts. We all have things that we think about. We all have, that was kind of redundant. We all have philosophies that we want to put out there. Because if something makes you feel strong, something makes you feel good, something makes you feel just feeling, you want to put it out there. You want to share it to the whole world. You want to say, hey, you know what? These are my thoughts on this thing. It's a monument. And I've always said, what kind of monuments are you leaving for your children? And what a lot of people don't realize is social media is a monument to a certain degree. If I pass away tomorrow, my kids can watch my YouTube channel and go, that's my dad. Not, this is one aspect of my dad. This is not, oh, this is my dad's fake persona. Or this is my dad's beef with somebody. No, this is my dad. This is who he was. And if they find themselves missing me, they can watch these videos and go, yeah, that's my dad, man. And a lot of people don't think about the future when it comes to social media. They don't think about the internet footprint per se that you leave. But I'm finding that part of this paradigm shift is, number one, improving my health. But number two, watching the right channels, watching something that benefits me. Now, yes, entertainment is a benefit. And there are so many avenues of entertainment that are not so toxic. You know, my Facebook feed, I've pretty much eliminated 90% of the stuff that was bringing me down. And this Bjorn guy, he was talking about putting down the smartphone and all that. And ironically, you're probably watching this on a smartphone, so I get it. It's kind of an oxymoron at times, but to me, YouTube is a platform. It's like as Bjorn put it, a small TV. And you can choose the programming. And I think that's the main point of this video is at one point I was homeless because I did not improve my situation. And I almost became homeless again because I did not improve my situation. And I was never into drugs. I was not a heavy drinker. In fact, at this point in time, I hardly ever drank. And it was all because I felt that the world owed me something. I thought that, I felt that society had failed me, and that I was owed something. And had I learned the lesson that the world owes you nothing, and it's all up to you, a lot sooner, then maybe I wouldn't have been in the position I was in. Or I would have recognized earlier. But I think the part that was missing, though, was how do I get out of that situation? How do I get out of that mentality that was keeping me buried? Well, because I was looking for information in the wrong places. Back then all you had was the library or self-help books, and I did not pursue those things. Now YouTube and the internet are this vast array of information, good or bad. And it's all on how you process it and what you're processing. So I figured, if you have ADHD or if you have trouble retaining information, just watching a certain channel and just listening, absorbing, eventually it'll start creeping into your subconscious mind, and you'll find yourself improving things, not even realizing that you're thinking about it. And I think that's where I'm at now. A lot of videos could be considered podcasts. I've stumbled on a few podcasts, and just anything that improves my situation, improves my knowledge, whether it be about money or about business or about personal growth. Mental health is a big aspect that a lot of people don't address. We're so busy thinking about how to get the numbers in your business, and we've forgotten why that's important. We could sit there and say, well, it's important to have your numbers, for your business, and it's important to know what your business is doing. But to me, the most important thing is, why are you in business? What is your goal? Oh, my goal is to make money. Make as much money as I can. But why? What do you want to do with that money? And if you look at the happiest people on earth, you're going to find that they've learned the things that we all struggle to learn. They're ahead of the game. They're at a different point of their paradigm shift. You got, and to surround yourself with good people that have good intentions, that are honest with you, and surround yourself with what fuels them. What, take a person that you really look up to and ask yourself, what fuels them? Let's look at what inspires them. And you'll start to figure things out. And when and you use the term educate yourself, and people put kind of a bad thought when they hear the word education. They think of school. Oh, school is horrible, that kind of thing. Just absorbing the energy, that's important. Once you absorb that energy, and you just, it's all part of a frequency. Once you get on the frequency of improvement, of bettering yourself, take yourself out of that car you were living in and start rising above it. In order to rise above, you gotta leave the mentality that kept you down in the first place. And sometimes it's environment, but a lot of it is the company you keep and the situations that you're in, that you've put yourself in. Anyways, these are just my morning coffee thoughts. Maybe this will be a new series, Morning Coffee Thought, where I just tell a story and maybe I'll do that. Leave the comments below if you think that would be a good series, just a morning coffee thought, just some random philosophicalness from your favorite metalhead truck driver. Yeah, I think we'll do that. But leave in the comments below and give it a thumbs up if you dig it. And thanks for watching. So welcome to my new series. I guess I just made that decision. Morning Coffee Thought. There you go. Peace.